freed them from condemnation. The penalty here is death, so the substitutes must die. This substitute must qualify to do this. It must be perfect and innocent itself. And we saw this as we looked through Exodus 12. So the Passover, like the animals of Genesis 3:21, is sacrificed. Now, how does this make for justification? Well, midnight comes in Egypt, and the Lord begins to pass through Egypt. All the firstborn in Egypt are to be slain. He comes to the house of all the Egyptians, and he slays the firstborn, just as his judgment had been pronounced. And he does exactly what he says he will do, as God always does. Now his righteous demands have been satisfied on the Egyptians. But remember that God's people, Israel, are part of Egypt now. So then he comes to the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel live. His judgment remains the same. He can't be partial. His righteous demands still must be satisfied. So he comes to the first house and he prepares to enter and carry out the judgment. But no, he can't enter. He is suddenly challenged by the blood on the doorpost. It appears as a cross, vertical and horizontal, barring his way, his entry. And the blood says, "Why are you here?" This is figuratively speaking, of course. And the Lord says, "As the righteous judge, I demand satisfaction of my righteous demands. I demand the life of the firstborn in the house. Judgment has been pronounced, the verdict is given, justice must be done." And so God is there to make sure that justice is done. But the blood replies, "If justice must be done, you need go no further. A life has been given in this house." So the Lord, the righteous judge, checks the law to see the implications of this claim. He then asks, "But is it the life of the firstborn that has been given?" And the blood replies, "No, this life was given in the firstborn's place as a substitute." So the Lord then considers this and asks, "What qualifies this substitute to take the place of the firstborn?" And the blood replies, "The firstborn is guilty, but the substitute is innocent. Therefore the substitute, having no guilt of its own, can take the guilt of the firstborn on itself and impute its innocence to the firstborn," put it to their account. And the Lord, as the righteous judge, sees that this is so. But one more matter must be settled. So the Lord says, "It is true that justice will have been done, and my righteous demands will have been satisfied, if indeed an innocent substitute had died in the place of the firstborn in this house. Even though the firstborn is still, in fact, guilty, I can declare them not guilty and spare their life. But I demand to see the proof that this substitute did indeed die." And the blood replies, "I am the proof." And God, the righteous judge, can do no other than to declare that firstborn positionally righteous. He is justified by the blood, by grace, through faith. The Lord cannot deny the blood, and so he passes over that house and goes on to the next. He never comes back. Justification is permanent. Every house with a blood on the doorpost will also be passed over. This is the wonderful power of the blood. When and where nothing else could stay the slaying hand of the Lord, the blood, though mute, speaks louder than any words could, and its cry is, "Justified."